Yes, but you're going to keep messaging me? Michelle. I will until you turn on the generator. Conrad. Okay, well, I'm bringing my sisters for ice cream. Michelle. So you'll do it when you get back? Conrad. Yep, I'll go right there. Michelle. Okay. Conrad. Love you. Michelle. I love you so much. Conrad. Smiley faces. Michelle. Hearts. Conrad. Haha, what are you doing? Michelle. Nothing really, just resting. Conrad. Okay, I'm procrastinating. Michelle. Yeah, I know. ... Are you back? Question mark. Conrad. Yep. Michelle. So it's time. Conrad. Oh, it's been time. Michelle. Are you going to do it now? Conrad. I just don't know how to leave them, you know? Michelle. Say you're going to the store or something. Conrad. Like I want them to know I love them. Michelle. They know. That's one thing they definitely know. Michelle. You're overthinking. Conrad. I know I'm overthinking. I've been overthinking for a while now. Michelle. I know. You just have to do it like you said. Michelle. Are you going to do it? Conrad. I haven't left yet. Michelle. Why? Conrad. Leaving now. Michelle. Okay, you can do this. Conrad. I'm almost there. Michelle. Okay. Michelle. Please answer me. Michelle. I'm scared. Are you okay? I love you. Please answer. Michelle. You're at your dad's. Cadam told me. I'll get you help soon, I guess. Michelle. I thought you actually did it. So, as we can assume...
Oh my god. She's disgusting, dude. She's so... Oh my god.
Yeah.
What is that?
So, as we can assume, from there being no response from Conrad took his own life in the Kmart parking lot with the generator, and he died from carbon monoxide poisoning.
That is so sad.
And even up until the end, Michelle did not stop. She did not stop, not even take 1 second to leave him alone about him killing himself.
At the end, she was still bullying him, too. She said, you're at your dad's, you know. Like, kind of threatening, like, you didn't actually do it. I thought you'd actually do it. But you didn't. Like, still, even at the end, like, she did not love him. That is not love.
She didn't love him. That is not love, and it's just so hard to think that this all happened over text message. Like, that she felt the need to manipulate him and have that power over him and push him to continue through to do this is unbelievable.
You know, I think it also speaks on the fact that she asked him to delete the messages because she didn't want to take responsibility for this, what she was doing. She knew what she was doing was wrong. She was very aware that if somebody saw those messages, they would know that she was at fault. So I think that goes to show that it was premeditated.
I agree.
As well. Like, she wanted to kill him, but she was also concealing the fact that it was her doing it. So, yeah, she's evil.
Yeah. So, Roy's funeral was held on Saturday, July 19th at St. Anthony's Church in Mattapoisett. Michelle Carter was indicted on February 4th, 2015, and arraigned the following day New Bedford Juvenile Court in Taunton, Massachusetts, on charges of involuntary manslaughter. The jury found enough to charge her with wantonly and recklessly assisting the suicide. She was 17 at the time, and the court indicted her as a youthful offender rather than a juvenile.
No.
Meaning that she could be sentenced as an adult.
Oh, okay. Okay, that means she can be sentenced as an adult?
Yeah. And okay. It's like, for me...
I thought for a second that meant that it was,
that she got, like, lesser charges?
Yeah, I got nervous. Okay.
No, I totally understand. I thought that too in the beginning. But also, it's like, for me, it's always this constant battle of, like, you know, how do I feel towards, like, being charged as an adult and being a minor? But it's just, like, I don't know in these kinds of situations, because I feel like the prison system that we presently have isn't going to figure out exactly what happened here. You know, it's like, sure, we can charge her, we can put her in jail, we can give her a high sentencing, we can do all this, but it's like, somebody who's like that, who's like Michelle, obviously needs help. Like, something is not right.
Definitely.
Something is not right.
I agree.
And she needs help, but that's not what happens. So, on Monday, June 5th, 2017, the day before the trial was scheduled to begin, Michelle waived her right to jury trial. Therefore, the case was heard by Judge Lawrence Moniz at the Bristol County Juvenile Court of Massachusetts in Taunton. Michelle was represented by Joseph P. Caldado and Corey Madera. As there was a limited legal precedent for prosecuting the encouragement of suicide, Cataldo initially asked Taunton Juvenile Court judge for summary dismissal, arguing that Carter's texts were protected under the First Amendment and that the text history showed that Roy had been contemplating suicide with Carter's input. The judge declined this motion. Literally, and I've said this in many cases before, I understand that their job is to defend their client, but how do you even, like...
At what cost? You're pretty much letting, like, let's say a future offender that does the same thing try to get away with that, using that same defense. So if it works for you, then that means it ends up working for a lot of people, and it could encourage people to commit crimes. At least that's what I think.
And repeat these crimes.
Yeah. Yeah, so, oh God. And yeah, you're, like, the fact that she would get high, like, as charged as an adult, like, she definitely does need help. But I feel like, obviously, like, I'm not, like, I don't know if she was getting help, and I'm not a professional, so I can't really say. But to me, it seemed like she knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
And from an outsider's perspective, like, that seems like she knew exactly what the outcome would be.
Yeah.
So I think she is a murderer.
So, really I think that brings up an interesting point of conversation, because it's like, even my coworker and I were having a conversation about this the other day, but it's like, what do you do for people who are fully conscious and fully aware of what they're doing? Like, how can you help those people? Because there are awful murderers out there, and they're completely conscious, and, like, they fully are well aware of the actions that they're taking. But it's just, like, is that not, like, because typically nothing can be diagnosed on them, you know? But it's just, like, what do we do then? Like, what do we do? How do we get these people help? Because there has to be some type of help available for those people, because even though they're fully conscious and fully aware, something is not right. Something is not right there. I don't really know if I'm, like, making sense, or, like, if that overall topic even makes sense.
You're trying to say, like, how do we help people who are, like, murderers or potentially have murderous tendencies that can't be diagnosed with anything? That's an interesting thought. I'm sure, like, a lot of people have, like, a lot of doctors and whatnot, they've been, like, trying
yes.
to, like, I mean, they can't even diagnose them, so it's like, how do you help? You're right. How do you help a person like that? I don't know. I believe that there's people who are just evil. Yeah. And I think...
So...
And that's a scary thought, because it's like I do want to help. You want to help people like that, not be that way, but it's like, I do feel like some people are legit just evil.
Yeah, so it's just like...
Just bad people.
How do you help evil? Like, literally, how do you help evil? Because literally what you're saying is exactly what my coworker said the other day. Like, to a T. So it's just like, how do you help
an evil
these
person?
People? I don't know. It's a bigger conversation.
Oh, yeah.
And we can't really jump down that rabbit hole right now, but I definitely think that I want to invest more research into that and see, like, what we can find.
Or
because,
what is evil?
Fuck.
You know?
What is evil? What is evil? Is evil diagnosable? Hello? Doctors? Are you listening? We need to establish a conversation.
like, evil, like, is also person to person. Like, so,
yes.
like, you know, like, some people would think we're evil. We're just being super queer and super just...
Very true. Okay.
Some people would think we're evil.
I agree. And this is such a bigger conversation that we have the time to jump into right now. But we need to have this conversation off the mic because
fun.
Yes. Back to the story. After the guilty verdict, Conrad's father stated publicly that he and the family were pleased with the verdict, but they wanted a little bit more privacy and time to process the events they had experienced. Lynn Roy, Conrad's mother, appeared on the CBS 48 Hours show saying that she didn't believe that Michelle had a conscience and that she knew exactly what she was doing. Michelle remained free on bail pending her sentencing. On August 3rd, 2017, Judge Lawrence sentenced Michelle to serve a 2.5-year term, with 15 months to be served in the Bristol County House of Corrections, the rest of the balance suspended, and 5 years of probation to be served. Soon after the sentencing was handed down, Michelle's lawyers asked Judge to issue a stay of the sentence until all of Michelle's Massachusetts court appeals options were exhausted. Judge Moniz granted the stay with conditions that Carter stay away from the Roy family. On February 6, 2019, the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court ruled that Michelle acted with criminal intent when she encouraged Conrad into suicide, so her involuntary manslaughter conviction was ordered to stand and that Michelle's 15-month prison sentence would be enforced in the near future. The rest of the 2.5-year sentence was suspended, followed by 5 years of probation. So she literally...
What? Suspended in the near future? What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? When? This woman deserves to be in jail.
Yep. Okay. It doesn't get better. Under order from Massachusetts judge, Michelle began serving her 15th-month sentence on February 11th, 2019. Michelle had requested a parole hearing for early release, but the parole board denied the request on September 20th, 2019. Meanwhile, Michelle's lawyers petitioned the case to the Supreme Court of the United States in July 2019 based on the First Amendment and Fifth Amendment grounds. Michelle's defense lawyers argued that Conrad had a history of suicide attempts and the decision to end his life was his own. That Michelle was bewildered over the case against her and that taking all the text in context, she tried to talk him out of it. They argued in the initial hearings that the defendant had broken no law and had a First Amendment right to free speech, and that at that time she was a juvenile. The Supreme Court declined to hear the case in January 2020, leaving in place the Massachusetts Supreme Court conviction.
Yes.
On January 23rd, 2020, Michelle was released early from prison due to good conduct.
Oh. She's out?
She
already?
Is out. Can you fucking believe? What even is good fucking behavior in prison? It's like, obviously, you're in prison for a reason. This sentencing was given to you for a reason. You killed somebody.
Yeah.
You killed somebody. Like, there is no excuse.
She killed somebody.
Why the fuck does she get leeway? Why does she get leeway? Is it because she's a white woman? Like,
you took the words literally right out of my mouth. She literally got...
Sorry, I'm just, like, on fire.
Yeah. I don't know. I literally can't think of another reason why they would let her out of jail. The caucasity jumped out there. Because...
The caucasity!
Because she murdered somebody. And I've seen the videos, her interviews and whatnot, like, or... Maybe it was, like, the court stuff. That woman feels no remorse.
No remorse, no shame. She feels like she did nothing wrong, and because there are people behind her that are defending her, it continues her to think that she did nothing wrong. And it's like...
Girl, you did everything wrong. You convinced this man to kill himself.
She gets to go on and live her normal fucking life while Conrad is no longer here. His family doesn't have him, and obviously, like... You can just tell, like, I don't know too much about Conrad, but you can just tell that he had a very sweet demeanor about him, and that throughout this whole entire time, he was thinking of others. Literally, he thought about his family. He thought about his friends.